Ladies and gentlemen, today is August 12th, 2013, and this is the KNKL Daily Show, number 82, day 82. I'm your host, Keenan Lafferty, and today is Emma Monday, but since we released the latest part of Emma, we are going to be jumping into the side comic, which, for those of you who saw on the Facebook today, features our lovely blue giraffe team, right? Because now we are actually going to be jumping into a football game. That is what this side comic is going to be about. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into that immediately. So, I'll talk you through a little bit of what happened today. Actually, you know what? I just realized I should have time-lapsed this. I really should have time-lapsed this. But, unfortunately, I did not. That is something that I need to start doing from now on, because I've actually been really enjoying that over the past few dailies. I've actually just been working all day and then showing you guys the progress that I've made. But I can walk you through the steps. So you can see here, this is the basic outline of what I wanted to happen. I've been exploring lately this new thing I've been reading about in this book that I got from Scott McCloud. Not only the Making Comics, but Understanding Comics. This is another great book you guys need to go check out at Barnes & Noble. And if you're interested in comics and stuff like that. And he talks about aspect-to-aspect transitions, something that's very, very popular in Japan and just like the manga-style comics, where basically the American style of an establishing shot is just to show the location, right? So I'd show the huge, football stadium. But what Japan does a lot of the time is they'll show just like these little tidbits. They'll show you pieces of the area, pieces of the puzzle, and then you put them together in your mind and you create the scene. Now what I'm doing here is specifically that. I'm showing you the lights. Lights was the first one. Second one is the guy with his hand on the football. Third, you got the awesome giraffe mascot, which you guys helped me design. Talk about that a little bit later. You got the sexy cheerleaders, which is what we're going to be working on today. And then you got this really amazing detailed shot of the football stadium. And I'll actually show you guys that too, because I did do some concepts for that. So that was the beginning. That was where we started. Let's go ahead and take that back. And then I just started throwing in these layers. That's confetti. Here's our sketches here. You notice I actually changed up the light almost completely. I just pulled up a picture of a stadium light on Google, and they gave me that. And I was like, hey, that's really cool. People will see that, and they'll know what it is. So, and then we got Babes. Babes layer, so we're going to be working on that. And this leads me to my next thing that has really been working to my advantage and something that I'm going to be bringing into Emma in the next chapter. Okay, so one of the biggest things that I'm doing differently is I'm concepting a lot of stuff. Concepting like these characters. Even though we're working in a simpler style, I've been concepting, like the cheerleaders and everything. There's the shot where the football guy is like running, kind of knocking people down. And there's this nerd in the crowd, right? There's this nerdy kid over here, and then there's like the jocks with the painted on letters on their chests and everything. And so I was like concepting and figuring out what all these characters are going to look like, as opposed to what I usually do, which is where I'm like, okay, I got to draw some cheerleaders. Okay, I'll just draw them right here, right? And then just like concept them in the panel. Kind of want to stop doing that. And then also another thing that I did, and this is what I'm going to be using for that big stadium shot. I actually decided to, for those of you who know, I love reading books now. I love reading books. This is another one, Perspective for Comic Book Artists by David Chelsea. And in this book, I learned about just creating like the science and the mathematics that goes into creating a realistic looking perspective piece, right? And so I set up these vanishing points. And then I got just a quick little reference of a stadium, and then built my own stadium off of this, right? My own building, and just kind of gave it a little bit of flair, a little bit of cartoony flavor, and kind of brought it into the style. So this is something that I'm going to be working off of, and you can see the perspective lines, what I laid in there. And this is something that I want to kind of teach you guys maybe in an upcoming KNKL show, because it's really, really cool. A little bit complicated, but once you get it, it's mind-blowing. Alright, so the last thing that I did, for those of you who tuned in, just to sum it all up, was our giraffe mascot, right? And originally, the crowd voted that we do something, I call this A&a-half, where it's basically the giant eyes with tiny pupils. But I noticed something. Once I actually put it into the comic, somebody said that I should try like angry eyes or like more intimidating eyes. So I went ahead and tried that out, and I ended up liking that a lot, a lot. So I ended up doing that in the actual comic. It just looked so, it just felt so right. You know what I mean? It just felt so right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into that. Wait, where is the proper? Here we go. Alright, so that's just my references. I'm going to put those on the side over here because we are drawing the lovely ladies. So that goes on the other screen. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. Let's jump into that. We've drawn white cheerleader. We got to draw sexy sister cheerleader coming up next. Alright. Yes, their mascot is Blue Neck Draven, for those of you who like that name better, like that terminology better. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Let us jump on into it. So the thing that I like most about doing this style here is actually the fact that, I don't know, it's kind of freeing. It's fun, and I'm actually trying out, like I said, a couple new techniques here that might actually be carrying over into the Emma comic. One of which, for sure, is going to be the concept art, right? Like, just concepting things. Because I did a little bit of concept art for the characters and stuff, but never really for the scenes, you know? Like, here's what, you know, like, in issue 1, where Emma's going towards that house, I didn't concept that. I was just like, okay, I gotta draw a house. There's a house. That's where she's going. And the interior of the house, I was like, I kind of drew a quick little floor plan, but that was it. That was basically it. And yeah, that's how we came to our amazing environments in the first issue, and trying to step that up. I'm wanting to step that up. Okay, so the reason why I like the black girl's lips is because she's got the... It's kind of the other thing. I usually try to stay away from doing these lips, like the bigger upper lip. But the reason why I like it in this case is because, like, this is something that a lot of comic book artists do. They'll usually draw, like, just these girls with, like, these giant, like, I don't know, they just look like unnaturally large lips. But on the sisters, it looks pretty good. On the sisters, I don't mind it. Looks pretty hot. But yeah, with, like, these white girls and stuff, it's just like, no, that doesn't look right. It just looks really, looks fake. White girls don't have lips like that. Not to be stereotyping, but you know what I mean. What layer is this on? Am I on frames? Gosh dang it. Alright. That's okay. Easily remedied. I don't know why I work on the wrong layer. I'm supposed to be working on babes. Babes. And I can already tell it's going to get hot in here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, I'll just keep going. And if it gets unbearable, I'll open the door. But I'm wearing like my nice skin-tight jeans, and I mean the shirt shouldn't be hurting me too badly, but it is pretty warm in here. It is fairly warm. Okay. So anyway, but I actually like drawing girls in this style. Reminds me of Adventure Time. You know how the characters just have simple eyes, you know, and then just the little circle faces. But my style is, I just give them chins, right? So it's Adventure Time plus chin equals Keenan's cheerleader style. Okay, so let's go ahead and take care of this girl. I like how everything just like flows into each other. You know what I'm saying? It just feels really, it just feels right. As I spit all over the keyboard. It's nice. That's nice. It just feels right. So let's go ahead and take care of this. Take care of this. I actually like how her chin is like a little bit longer too. I don't know, something about it. It looks really, really nice. Really nice. And she's got the big bow, so I need to give her that. Large bow. But yeah. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a lot of fun talking on Thursday about the 2634 rule. I was really, really happy to finally like put together a cohesive speech on that, just like because I talked so much about the 2634 rule, and I really wanted to give you guys the history and just where that came from and what it's been doing for me. I did it again today. This is my 7th set actually, while I'm talking with you guys. So I still have one more to do after this. But I've actually been thinking lately just about doing more, doing more sets because, I don't know, at the end of the day, it's just like I feel good, but I don't feel necessarily tired. I could keep going, It's interesting. So you might as well. You might as well. Plus, I'm just super excited to get this part of the comic out. Super, super excited. Alright, so let's go ahead and draw in these hot mamas. Hot mamas. Okay. This arm is going to be up. So we need to draw like that. And what I'm thinking about doing with this issue, and I'm curious to see how you guys respond to this, is I'm thinking about not doing like final line art. Usually in Emma, I do this kind of line art, and then I go back through and I do the final black lines. But for this, I kind of want to do a little bit of an experimental style and a simpler style, and cutting out the line art is going to save quite a bit of time. And I'm also thinking that it might give it a little bit more of its own, I don't know, it might give it its own character, you know what I mean? I don't think it'll be a bad thing. So I'm thinking about just skimping on that final step and see where that takes us. See if that helps us to discover something. That is a very large arm. That is a large arm. We need to fix that up a little bit. Her arm will be coming out right there. Oh, yeah, I actually like that. Love it! Keeping it. I'll have the edge of her pom-pom kind of sticking out there. But yeah, I like drawing cheerleaders. They're fun. They're cute. Okay, except for this girl's bow. I need to fix that. This bow is different in the concept, as you can see here. Right? Oh. That's what I'm trying to do right there. That's what I want. And it's really nice, just like having concepts. Oh, and the other thing that I noticed that's really nice about having these things already drawn is that some of the concept images you can actually just drop in to the comic. Like later on, for those of you guys, like I'm probably only going to end up showing you guys the first 2 pages of this because it is a short mini comic and I like to have it. I like to have the full edition for the people who purchase the digital edition of Emma. But I will be showing you guys the production of the first 2 pages. But one of the later ones, there's actually a shot of the football dudes running around. And the concept that I use is going to just be dropped into the panel. So like 90% of the work is already done. And that's really cool. I like that. I like when that happens. Love it when a panel comes together. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Okay, what am I going to do here? Oh, I actually like how this ribbon is wrapping around. Maybe I'll just wrap that around her hair. Because her hair just comes out like this. And it'll kind of drop down. Brilliant! Brilliant. I think I'm just going to do that. That looks great. I don't have the edge of her hair kind of sticking out like that. She's got the dreads going on. I like it. She's got the sexy dreads going on. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you got that and that. I actually don't like the way that it was shaped. Change up that shape just a tad bit. Cool. And we got sexy black cheerleader. Sexy black mama cheerleader. Okay. Let's see what's next. I actually did want to draw some silhouettes of some other cheerleaders in the background. And one of them is going to be like doing this big old like upside down kick thing. I'll actually show you the reference that I have for that. Because I was looking up cheerleader toss moves and I was like, yes, that's what I want. So I'm definitely going to be drawing one girl in the background like that. And yeah, it's good. It's good foreshadowing. It's good foreshadowing. No things to come. All right. Anyway, don't want to give away too much. So let's just draw some silhouettes of these background cheerleaders. And I'll make a new layer and call it BG Babes. BG Babes. And this should be fairly simple. Should be fairly simple. Because I think I'm just going to have like... And again, I always like to... Not only like, I always do create a new layer every time I draw something behind characters. Like say I'm drawing a person here, right? And say it looks terrible. Say it like... Looks like some weird tiki person. I don't know. I like the word tiki, so I say it's tiki all the time. And then I'm like, oh, I don't like that. And then I have to go back in and erase it. If this is not on its own layer, I will have to carefully like zoom in and just like carefully trace the outline, you know? And that's really annoying to do. So instead, I make it a lot easier on myself. And every time I want to add something in, specifically behind a character, just make a new layer. And that makes us very happy. Makes us happy and not want to die from tracing outlines. So I'm all for line sculpting. Line sculpting's fine, but only when you have to do it. I should be able to make this girl look pretty cute. Might change this just a tad bit so it's not cutting into her eye. So it's not pointing right at her eye. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Nothing too crazy. Alright, we don't want to get too crazy up in here. Just enough so we know there's other cheerleaders, right? It's not a squad of two, it's a squad of many. Squad of many cheerleaders. Okay. Good. Good. Might be some tangents to resolve, but that's fine. Let's just carry on. Carry on. Maybe I'll make her have pigtails. I think I'm gonna make her have pigtails. Yep, that's good. I was thinking about giving her kind of a similar thing that she has. Like the little, I don't know, fan of streamers or whatever, that thing, little headdress thing going on there. But I like each of my characters to be unique. Even the background ones, right? Each of them has their own story. Wants and wishes. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that. However, I don't like the position of these eyes. I'm going to fix that really quick. As well as this chin going up into that. Oh, I actually like that. I added that line in and it just created a tooth line. Do you notice that? Happy accidents. Even though I hate that phrase, it just sounds so stupid. It sounds so gay. Happy accidents. I can't get enough of the happy accidents. Let's try this. Happy accident, your face. Your face is a happy accident. Oh, actually, it's quite a compliment. Thank you. Okay, that looks way better. Way better. Except for this tongue is looking a little bit weird. Okay, that's good. Now I'm curious because her arm is like tangenting with this thing. I wonder if I want to put that other arm up too. You know what I mean? Like she'll have both of these pom-poms raised. The only reason that I don't want to do this, the only reason I would stay away from this is if it's gonna, and I think it is going to, like if her hand was holding this pom-pom, it's gonna be kind of in the way of this jumping girl, right? Because she's gonna be kind of doing that flippy thing right here. And I don't think it's gonna work. So, sorry. Sorry, girl, you're gonna have to keep your arm down. Besides, she's with the rest of the... She's in sync with the rest of the dancers, so that's good. That's fine. And instead, what I might do is I'll probably just move this. I need to move her somewhere so that way that arm is not tangenting. Tangentizing. Tangentize. Alright, I think that's better. Yep, that's better. Good. 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 There's a lot of calculation. There's a lot of calculation and detail that goes into drawing. Even simplified cheerleader girls. Happy accidents. Don't ever say that around me. Don't ever say happy accidents around me. I'll slap you. I'll find you. And it'll be easy because you'll be right in front of me saying it to me. And then I'll slap you. Alright. Although, if our arm was up, we'd probably see the edge of that pom-pom right there. And as long as that doesn't look weird in the final thing, then I think we'll be okay. I don't think it will. I think it'll be fine. We'll make it work. Okay. Good. I actually like that girl. She's cute. Alrighty then. Now let's go ahead and do... I think I might just draw the arm there. That's kind of how it's laid out in the sketch, and I kind of like that. And I'll just put like part of the face, just barely part of the face there. Looks pretty good. Let's get that ear in there. And yeah, like I said, this is the hardest time for me to commentate as I'm drawing. Like, this is the real creative stage where I'm really trying to just like figure things out. So I hope you'll pardon the lack of commentary. I might talk more than usual compared to other people, but for me, I just like to constantly talk. So, might notice an unusual quietness from me. But with that being said, please feel free to ask any questions that you have today. Any questions you have, that is what the chat is there for. People live on Ustream, people on YouTube. Obviously, you can't do this. You can post a comment down below if you want to see something, or if you want to ask me something. Yes, any and all questions I will take today. And we're probably going to be winding down here in the next about 10 minutes. So I'll finish this girl here, and then we'll draw this girl flipping in the background. We'll call it good. Call it good. I'm super excited for this side comic though. Like, it's coming together already. Like, knowing that, looking at these lines, this is basically what's going to be the final lines. Aside from just a little bit of cleanup, it's actually really cool. Really like it. Feels refreshingly like fast. You know what I mean? Because Emma is just like blah blah blah, do this, redo it, redraw it, redraw it. You know, and it ends up looking really nice. Don't get me wrong, but I'm excited to just have something out very quickly and just get the digital edition out for Emma, and then get ready to start issue 3. Alright, so that's good. I put that other arm out like that, but I don't like it. Alright. Let's just give this girl a good old-fashioned ponytail. Nothing too crazy, just the run-of-the-mill ponytail. Alright, now let's draw the flippin' girl. Let's draw the flippin' girl! Oh, Brian Hogan is asking, Ken, do you have any remedies for aching joints? Yes, I do. Being an artist and working on the comic all day, I do actually run into a lot of wrist problems, even while I was working back at Riot. Just working all day and stuff can do damage to your wrist over the years if you're not careful with it. So what I recommend to you is get some sort of like, this is called Deep Blue Rub. It's for, it's kind of like Aspercream or Bengay. Or it smells like eucalyptus. It smells like Lifesaver mints, right? And this stuff is really nice because it just kind of helps to soothe pain. But really, I think what it comes down to is taking proper breaks, and that goes back to the 26-34 rule. And I really believe that artists just don't take enough breaks. I don't think they break enough. I don't think they take care of themselves enough. And they're under this impression that they just need to go, 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 and they never stop. And that can be very, very dangerous. So I would say best thing is do stretches, use Aspercream, and take breaks. And you will live long and prosper in the land. Try to stay away from like pills and drugs and stuff like that, though. Like as much as you can. I like pills as much as the next guy, but I would recommend stay away from it. You should be able to do things naturally. I don't know. I'm just a hippie, but okay. So I'm drawing in this girl over here. I have my reference, and I'm basically just copying this pose straight up. It'll help me to do things much quicker. And yeah, I like it. I just really like how, like, this is a great example. Just look at the line that goes through this body. Like, look how cool that is. So amazing. And these are the kinds of things that I really like to study and put into action poses, is noticing that there's just like that line of action, that perfect line of action that goes through any body in motion. And it's very, very cool to see and draw and observe. Okay, so this is Jumpin' Babe, so I'm going to have her on her own layer as well. So I'm probably going to end up shrinking her down. I can already tell. Okay, so you got waist, and then you got her leg coming out like that. And her foot is even pointed. That's pretty cool. Something I liked about when I was just doing the concepts for the cheerleaders is I like exaggerating things. And one thing that I really wanted to do with the concept of the cheerleaders was to have them, what the heck? Was to have them, you know, they got like these, you know, they got these uniforms on, they got the little skirts, and like I like the idea that their legs kind of come down and they have like these kind of a little bit more chunky shoes. You know what I mean? Like these, they wear like those whatever, just like straight up white Nikes or whatever. They're usually just like plain white, whatever they're wearing. And I like that. I like the contrast of like the skinny leg to the big boot. So probably because it's like Emma. That's probably why. So yeah, that's what I am doing. That is what I am doing. But let's continue. Let us continue. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to definitely shrink this down because that is a little bit too big. Her legs are ginormous. In fact, I might have to redraw this thing. I have to simplify this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'll do my edits on this one. This is another thing that I like to do. Like, if I draw something, I'm like, ooh, okay, I like a certain part of that, but I want to mess around with it a little bit more. I'll just duplicate that layer and then mess around with it as much as I want. And then, worst comes to worst, I just compare it to the old one, and then I can always go back. You know? This is much harder than I thought it was going to be. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work with a shape, because this girl is going to be, this girl is just going to be a shape in the end. So now let's see. Just trying to figure out where I want her arm to go. Because one girl has it out front, and the other girl has it back, and I kind of like the one that's back. This is hard stuff, man. Hard stuff. There we go. When in doubt, simplify it. Okay, so there's one leg. The other leg comes right out like that. Again, her legs look massive. I have a problem with drawing legs too big, apparently. Let's shrink them down to size. Oh! I think that might be it. Only thing I need to do is fix this leg. There we go. There we go. Let's skirt, and that looks amazing. Looks amazing, aside from the fact that her leg looks a little broken right there. Let's go ahead and fix that. Lovely! And I'm going to go ahead and cheat a little bit and put a little bit of perspective on that. Because I like cheating. Cheating! Okay, and let's see. Yeah, I'll go ahead and keep her like that. Looks good, and man, it is hot. Oh my gosh, is it ever hot. Not the pose. The actual temperature in this room is hot. Well, the pose too. Pose is hot. Alright guys, I'm going to take these last questions here, and then we're going to be rounding up, or we're going to be finishing up today's daily. If there are any others. Going back to pains with joints, people are recommending eating bananas. Eating bananas always helps. Yes. Oh, speaking of this, speaking of like getting sore joints, I noticed that I have to be really careful when I'm either working, right, drawing, or I'm playing video games, right? Diablo 3 is what I'm playing right now. And I'm having a lot of fun with that, but I've noticed that like I'm just getting to the point where I gotta take breaks on everything I do, right? I think it's also good because it kind of gives you, time to be like, whoa, I spent like 6 hours playing Diablo today. I should probably not do that. For me, personally. Nothing against you if you play games all day, but for me, I really need to make this comic, so it's probably not a good idea that I engage in such behavior. I'll shrink down this girl's head just a tad bit. I love this. This looks awesome. That looks great. In fact, I'm going to exaggerate that even more. Even more. Let's get that chunky foot in there, chunky shoe. And let's get this chunky shoe in there. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I look better the other way. A little thing there. Yeah, that looks awesome. And then what I'll do to finish this up is I'll probably have like the... Let me sketch this in really quick so I don't forget. We obviously need to see who's throwing this chick, right? She's not just like jumping in the air and doing a giant cartwheel. We need to show the dudes that are throwing her, right? We need to show the hands of the other characters over here throwing her up. And it can be literally done as simple as that, I think. Maybe something really, really simple. And I'll just, I'll probably refine this just a little bit, but this is basically the girls here, and there, and there. Yeah, that looks good. In fact, because of the size that they're drawn at, I'm probably going to reduce her size even more. She's probably going to be about that size. Yeah. Excelente, people! Hey, look at that. So now we got nice layers going on here. You got the foreground chicks, you got the midground chicks, background chicks, and flipping chick. Alright? That, ladies and gentlemen, how you compose a nice panel. Very, very nice panel. XBLGR is asking, any good art books? I will answer this as I'm pulling up epic outro music. Yes. Oh, do I have some good books for you to check out. One of which, again, I'll go right through these one more time. Perspective for comic book artist, David Chelsea. If you ever wanted to learn how to draw just like beautiful scenery, just like buildings and interior shots and furniture and all that stuff, it's not easy, right? There's a lot of complicated things that you need to learn. But I guarantee you, after you read that book, you'll be well on your way. And then the latest things that I'm reading right now are Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. And then the sequel to it, which deals a lot with webcomics, Reinventing Comics, right? See, he's like a Hindu god. It's like, oh, Reinventing Comics. and that's really good too. I haven't started reading it, but I've heard some good things about it. So I'm jumping into that as soon as I finish understanding comics, and these are great. I would highly recommend you guys just take a look at these at your local Barnes & Noble. Even if you just go for a few days, you probably wouldn't even have to buy it. But I bought it, especially the perspective one. I would recommend buying that one because you really need to refer back to it quite often. But check those out. Absolutely love them. And with that, we are going to go ahead and say goodbye. I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you once again for joining me live on Ustream, people on YouTube. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. My name is Keenan Lafferty. I'll see you guys for Tutorial Tuesday tomorrow. Until then, take care.